Hi, folks. So I'm really upset this week because I found out I didn't get a job that I thought I had. In fact, I was 100% sure I got this job. And so to find out that I didn't get it was kind of devastating. And then now I feel kind of silly too because it was something I never really dreamed of being. So I got my high hopes up over something that was kind of far fetched to begin with. But anyway, I'm just going to start with the story. So I go to job fairs, as many of you know, and I went to a job fair that had 40 different booths, 40 different employers. So Honda was there, the Department of Aging was there, some schools were there, some colleges were there, DHL was there. Let's see, Pepsi was there. The job fair had manufacturing jobs as well as administrative jobs, and so it was just big and had a lot of variety to it. So it was a great job fair. But anyway, when I got to the job fair, I had all my resumes ready and I started to go from table to table talking to people and passing out my resumes and telling them my story. I've been laid off for a long time. I want to do a change of career. Can you help me out? Here's my resume, blah, 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 blah. Some of them were more responsive than others, but it was kind of blah, you know. So I wasn't getting quite the response that I wanted, but there were some people there that were interested. But anyway, I finally get to the pest control table. And so I start out telling them my story, and they perk up because I'm an older person, and apparently they're a family owned business and they really care about people, you know. So they perk up, they listen to my story, and the guy who's at the booth sort of jumps up behind the booth and takes me aside and tells me all about pest control. Now, pest control is something I never even thought of doing. So this is really unusual. But anyway, this guy was very charismatic, and he knew how to talk. He was a chatterbox. And anyway, he started telling me all about pest control and about the company. And I started to get excited. I was like, okay, well, pest control could be an option for me. I need a change of career. I'm doing a change of career. So why not? It's interesting. And by the way, I'm a person that likes bugs. I like snakes. I like raccoons. I like wildlife, period. So I'm a nerd that way. So this is kind of in my alley. So anyway, I thought, okay, this sounds pretty cool. So anyway, when we're done talking, I start going to other tables, and doing the same spiel, passing them all my resumes and talking to them. But the pest control was the one that really stuck into my head because the guy was so charismatic and seemed to be so nice. I thought, when I go home, I'm going to check this out. So I went home and I started to research the company. And I found out that it was a family owned business and that it had been around for a while and that it had a really good reputation. And I looked up the employee ratings, and the employees seemed to love the company. And I thought, wow, this seems to be a really good company. So I looked at their careers and I applied for a couple jobs online. And I thought, okay, we'll see what happens. So anyway, about 2 weeks later, I get a call from the hiring manager, or one of the hiring managers, not the main one. But anyway, she, gives me a mini interview, a screening, so to speak. And I tell her I was interested in the position was because I had went to the career fair and I had talked to some guy there for a long time, and then we really hit it off, and he thought that this was something that I could do. And when I told her all that, she started to perk up. She was like, who was it? Blah, 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 blah. And anyway, I get a second interview. So about a week later, I go on a second interview for this position. And I'm really excited because what I found out was this job is only like a half a mile from where I live, which is excellent. I mean, the city I'm from is a big place, and to have a job that close, the job fair was far away. It was like the on the bottom southern part of the city, but to actually go to a job fair on the southern part of the city and then you know find a job that's right beside me was really exciting. So I was starting to really get stoked about this interview. So anyway, I go on the interview, and the person who was interviewing me is the same guy at the job fair. So now I'm really excited. I think, okay, well, he seemed to like me last time, and he liked my story. And he also knew what I looked like. He knew my age. He knew my weight, all that jazz. So, and he remembered me. So I thought that's great. I'm really feeling good about this. So I started to talk to him about my life and all that stuff again, and he remembered a lot of it. But then he started to talk, and talk he did for a long, long time. This guy's a chatterbox, and he kept going on and on about how they're a family-owned company and they really care about people, and that he just hired his stepdad, who's probably around my age, and he said that if they really liked me and I didn't really like pest control that much, they would find an administrative job for me. And he just seemed to really like me, and he seemed to take me under his wing. And the interview was going very well. The only thing that was unusual about the interview was he seemed to do more talking than I did. So he seemed to be the type of guy who likes to hear himself talk, who's into his own spiel. And the only thing that was made me wonder a little bit about getting the position is during, like, close to the beginning of the interview, I asked about how long does it take, when do employees usually find out if they're going to be hired or not. And he kind of looked me over, and he said, well, you'll know probably Wednesday of next week. And I thought, okay, why is he looking me over? Because he already knew what I looked like. So that was the only thing that made me wonder. But then after I asked that question, he went on, and he seemed to take me under his wing. I felt that I had the job. And not only that, after he was done interviewing me, he sent me to his superior to check me out. And so his boss started asking me questions, and then we started talking about movies, and it seemed like everything was just perfect. I was 100% sure I had this job. And after the interview, I went home, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get this job. I need to research all the certifications that I need for this job. You have to get a pest control certification. You don't have to, but you get a raise if you get it. I was researching raccoon trap certifications, because that's another thing he said in the interview that I might need. So I started researching all these certifications, and I was totally into it. And after I was done researching it, I sent out 2 thank you emails to each one of them, each of the people that interviewed me, him and his boss, telling them, thank you for the interview. If you need to know more, blah, 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 blah. And that was it. I thought, I've got this job. And not only did I think had the job, but I also thought, I really want this job. Why? For one thing, they're really close to where I live, and the people seem so nice. And having worked in corporate and being just a number for all those years, I thought, I'm not going to be a number at this place. These people are going to really care about me, and so that was really appealing. Also, they were going to give me a truck, and I was going to get my marching orders each day from my phone, and I would just go directly from my home to the places I needed to spray insecticide at. So I mean, I didn't even really have to. I was on my own, and I didn't even really have to go to work or talk to anybody from there. I just did the jobs that they gave me to do. So it just seemed like a really neat independent job to have. So I was really, really stoked. I really wanted this job. I called the people that I put down as references, and I told them, hey, you're going to be getting a call from this company asking for reference for me. I think I really got this job. And all the people that I told that to were extremely happy because they all knew my situation. So to me, in my head, this sort of felt like a done deal. And I wasn't worrying about it. I just started making plans about how I was going to handle this, where I was going to park the truck they were going to give me, all that stuff. So I was really relaxed about it. However, I made a huge mistake. I didn't check my email for a response for them because they told me, I wasn't going to be finding out about it until the next Wednesday. So the next day, I was scrolling through my email, I was searching for something, and I happened to find an email from them. And the email said, basically, we're not hiring you. We're moving on to the next steps in the process, and you're not chosen. And I thought this has to be a mistake. This can't be real. I mean, because the way he acted and everything, I had the job, and in my head, it was already a done deal. And so I I was really upset. But then I talked to one of my friends, and they said, "Well, that was just probably an automatic response from the website. You probably you seem so sure that you got the job. You probably did get the job. It was just probably some mistake." So I thought, "Oh, you're right. It's probably just some mistake, you know." Um, but it was a mistake. I emailed them on Monday, and I asked them. I told them, I said, "Look, the response I got's weird. It didn't come directly from you. Uh, um, am I still being considered for this position?" 5 minutes later, I get an email back from them saying, "No, you're not being still considered for this position. The response was correct. However, please apply again. We liked you." I was like, I was completely stunned. Like I couldn't believe it. And also I feel like a fool for going down this tangent. Like I pest control is not something I even aspired to be, and to go from 0 to 100 and then back down to 0 over something like this. I felt duped. Like almost felt like I was lied to, because the way that they were acting. I don't know if they were trying to portray that they were just good people. If my interview was just for sympathy or something. But it felt just like a complete waste of time. And now that I think about it, I just think that he knew he wasn't going to hire me right off the bat. That he was just, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older, and he just wanted to show respect or something like that. But I, I, I was completely angry because, I had already kind of planned out my career in that short space of time. And I wish that I would have never even went to that table now. I wish they would have never gotten my hopes up. It's just a complete disaster, and you know, I it's just another failure also. So that's my story, and you know, I guess I'm just gonna have to move on and try something new again. I don't have any choice, but this was really upsetting. It was really upsetting just because I had my, I already had visions in my head of what I was going to do, and that finally this job search was over, and it's still not over. So it's a load of crap. But anyway, that's my story. So if you like it, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.